Well, hello there, everyone. You have right here. I'm talking about for Subway commercials, and I talk about for Jaycee Dugard right here. And each time that I look at some of those commercial advertisements, if it's related to Subway, a lot of times it seems like it's always going to remind me a little bit of of the Jaycee Dugard story. And like say, I have right here is for Subway right here, Subway Eat Fresh, and then you have right here is the Pinecone Charms right here. So like I say that that about every time I see the advertisements for Subway Eat Fresh, and then also if we talk about for like the book right here, Jaycee Dugard, Freedom the First right here, and also the Stolen Life right here, and you're likely thinking too that that the things that Jaycee talks about, but still, though, that I know that every once in a while, if I'm going to be looking through the People's magazine, and I'm going to be looking, I'm like, any restaurants, any favorite restaurants that she likes going to, if it's going to maybe be, anything, if there's going to be maybe a restaurant, maybe such as maybe Chuck E. Cheese or maybe Burger King or some restaurant like that, but it's like, knowing about for Subway, and I know that I have here's the People's magazine, but I know one restaurant that I know that she likes going to. I'm like, that have right here is you got right here is the pages right here, but anyway, but talking about for related to about Jaycee Dugard though, that have right here, the horse. I'm like, I got right here is her right here with the horse right here, and then being the horse, and then you have right here is the other pages right here of the magazine right there, if we can all see that. But still, why is it that with whenever I think about the magazine right here, it's going to remind me a lot of the Subway commercials, and it's like say for Subway Eat Fresh, and so I guess that I can remember that knowing about here's the multiplication table. But still, though, it seems like that whenever I think about the multiplication table just a little bit, about how you can describe about maybe having an account. Let's just say if you're able to order, Subway or maybe Starbucks coffee, if you're able to order some of those dishes or menus maybe from your mobile phone, and you're likely thinking too that having a multiplication table like this, if we can all see that right there, and sometimes it seems like if I want to go ahead and use something like this as like an advertisement, such as what's it like to be able to have the mobile app available for your phone, to where you can actually order lunch from the phone, and then you can actually have it delivered, or if it's ready to go by the time you come to it, to pick up your order. And so I know that there's a lot of restaurants too, that just like the pizza places, to where that whenever they take your order, they ask you what would you like to have on the pizza, and if you want to have it extra crispy crust, or maybe soft, or maybe medium well, or something. So they give you these options, and a lot of times that whenever you go in there into Subway restaurant, within 5 minutes, and then they can have your sandwich ready, and it's made fresh. It's not like something to where that whenever you go into some of those restaurants, I'm like, that how can I describe it to where it's not like it comes directly from out of the refrigerator or something like that. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, but it's made fresh. So it's not like it's been prepared for about within 7 hours between time or something. So so I know a lot of restaurants that I really don't know the details about, that certain restaurants that do have leftover food, and I know that but talk about for how restaurants work, but you have right here talk about for Subway though. Why is it that Subway is going to remind me a lot about Jaycee Dugard? And I'm like, there are a lot of what I hear about on the news too about that. But still, that talk about for the multiplication table right here, and I know that just trying to be able to memorize all the multiplication tables, and you kind of describe that, like maybe if it's ordering a book about Jaycee Dugard, or a possibility that if you're going to look at that, like say best friends right here, and I'll tell you everybody that especially on Black Friday, if you're going to be going into Subway restaurant, maybe like on a Black Friday, during the Black Friday holiday, and let's just say if they are busy, then it's like, say, yeah, something that you would say, something that's going to remind you of something, and and let's just say that, yeah, if it's going to be maybe going in there between certain time of the hours, and want to know just a little bit too, that if you're going to have a shirt, if you're going to be wearing a shirt, something that says, best friends or something like that, but really, how can we describe, I guess, whenever you're going to be thinking about something and looking at something, maybe if it is maybe the Subway ads, that I wonder just a little bit of that too, that, that a lot of the other restaurants that we see nowadays, if it's going to be maybe McDonald's, or if it's going to be Arby's, or if it's going to be maybe Starbucks coffee, or if it's Dunkin' Donuts, then a lot of times it's like, say, yeah, you go in there and order something from the menu, and then there's going to be commercials that come on for about maybe 15 seconds to say, eat healthy, leave happy, or something like that. Yeah, come in, come in and enjoy one of our menus and leave happy, and so something like that, and so something to where that you come in there and then you order something from the menu, enjoy what you like to have of your choices. So I know that a lot of the menus, though, that sometimes it seems like that whenever you go into those restaurants, then some of those restaurants, that if it's maybe going to be if you're going to be ordering maybe Mexican or Chinese, anything in the Chinese restaurants, then it's like, say, yeah, that one of those menus, one of the side dishes that comes with with a salad, or maybe some shrimp, or maybe anything about maybe chicken fingers. I'm like, yeah, anything about like a side dish, maybe coleslaw or something like that, that's going to come with on the menu. So whenever you're going to a restaurant like maybe Subway, then it's possible that, yeah, breadsticks, I guess breadsticks and maybe a dipping sauce, or if it's maybe I think mustard, honey mustard, or something like that. So yeah, you're gonna, whenever you order something like a sandwich, then in that possibility that they say that yeah, that you can you can even they even offer to where they add a little bit of a roast beef on the top, and then maybe another layer of mayonnaise, or like any other sorts of sauce or siding. But still, that I know. Whenever I think about Subway, I'm going to think about the Jaycee Dugard story, and so you got here's the multiplication charts, and I know that I can say too is to where that they even have it to where you can actually pay using your mobile phone just to be able to if you're going to be ordering a sandwich. But still though, that they have access to a multiplication chart right here, and at the time it seems like that why is it that that's going to remind you a lot of that trying to figure out your times tables, but why is it going to remind you a lot of going to those restaurants, and then whenever they take your order and they tell you about how much it's going to be, including the tax and all that, and so it seems like that if you're going to be ordering online, then I guess is it really the same thing as being there at the checkout, being there at the register, to where do you really have access? Is it just like having access to a multiplication chart, to where we're able to read the chart right there, just trying to match up the numbers? And sometimes it seems like that maybe the experience just goes much faster. Whenever you're going to be paying for something by your mobile phone, and you see how easy it is just to be able to place the order, and then they tell you when it's ready for pickup, or if it's going to be delivered. So it seems like that why is it that's going to remind me a lot of the multiplication chart? But I guess really the best answer I'm going to have is like having access to that from a mobile phone. It seems like that from your own phone, and you say that maybe does it work just like having a calculator, having access to it at your own time? You feel more comfortable with that, compared to what you call that whenever you're going to be learning from, going by the rules about in the classroom and this. So yeah, that whenever you're reading the times tables right here, you had difficulties trying to read and understand about why is it that this number on the decimal, the rounding between the long division and the subtraction, all that, why is it that those numbers are getting smaller and bigger? But then whenever you're ordering a sandwich, it seems like that, that you'll be able to pay for something that you just say that, just to be able to have access to it at your own convenience, and then just really understand just a little bit more about, really about how the service works, huh? But anyway, but talk about right here that in case of somebody asks me that, with the pine cone charms right here, that, with the pine cone charms, that really though, that can we really use this like as an example right here of like a math equation, like any source of equation, and let's just say that if it's possible that maybe that the pine cones, which these pine cones would be about 5-6 years old right here, but let's just say that it means is to where maybe about 23 weeks before winter, 23 weeks or so before the holiday season or something like that. But usually that's usually around the springtime whenever you usually see the pine cones. But talk about for the pine cone, for seed for the new beginning it is, but what it stands for. But you have right here is the pine cones right here, and then you have right here is for Jaycee Dugard's book right here. And so yeah, that's one thing I may want to mention about is that why is it that even though if you're going to be ordering a book on Amazon, that why is it that the Subway commercials are going to remind you a lot about the story? And they say that even ordering a dessert from Subway also, that you're wondering that too, that really though that you're gonna order a dessert from any source or restaurant, and sometimes it seems like a lot of times the treats are gonna come after you get done with the sandwich, or you're gonna order maybe 3 cookies, or maybe a hot fudge sundae, or something like that, or maybe anything else that's gonna be on the menu. But really though that